All right, this is part 3, y'all. Basically, it's like this. When I'm talking about interest, all right, and like I left off the last segment on how, you know what I'm saying, on how interest keeps people in debt. So what I'm going to focus on this one, and I got about 10 minutes. What I'm going to focus on this one is how interest keep you in debt. Let's just say you take out a loan from the bank and they loan you, X amount of money. Okay. Let's just say you get a $10,000 loan from them, right? And they charge you 1.3% interest on that money. All right. Or let's just say they charge you 2.4% interest on that money, right? In the long run, they say, okay, well, look, to pay us back that money, here's the designated payment that we want you to pay monthly. It sounds like they're helping you out, especially if you don't know how much is that 1.3 or 2.4 on top of the 10,000 that you actually borrowed. All right. Now, let's just say you going ahead, you get the $10,000. They say you got 10 years to pay it back. They give you 10 years. On $10,000, of course, they were slow. They would make you pay slow payments on that motherfucker. They were like, oh, well, don't worry about nothing. You can go on ahead and pay $150 a month on a $10,000 loan. All right. We'll give you plenty of time to pay it back. Over time, that 1.3 and that 2.4, and this is what I learned about interest. Over time, you think you're getting a deal, but for real, they're going to make $15,000 off of you. So they're going to damn near double their money, damn near, by loaning you 10. So if I loan you 1, you give me back 3. If that makes any sense. What you don't, because if you going to borrow money or if you going to get any loans anyway, you in a fucked up situation. You worrying about how much you make far as your income. Now, here's where I say that mathematics need to be done. And this is what this is what most shit that motherfuckers don't do. Most people do not sit there and do the math. They mentally lazy. Most people don't sit there and do the math, because from the present, far as present, you calculate this shit down the line. Math can tell you what the fuck might happen. And 90% of the time is accurate. What could happen if you don't pay attention to this, and this. So for the time that it takes to pay them that money back, right? You could have, for the time you paid that interest back, it may take you 1 or 2 years. With hard work, you could have saved that $10,000 in 6 months by cutting shit out that you don't supposed to be doing. When you look at it like that, this is how stupid motherfuckers is. This is why people don't want to sacrifice, for nothing. You get a loan from the bank. For the loan that you get from the bank, by the time you paid it back, right? You could have saved that exact money that you asked the bank for in 6 months by working an extra job and putting that money away and rice and beans that shit. That means fast from everything because you saving up for a designated specific objective that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Then what you did by rushing, with all the other responsibilities you got to get a loan that's going to take you 2 extra years to pay back. And this is what they bank on. This is what they bank on. This is what interest is used for. Interest is used for you to go ahead and pay that institution. All right? Because that's what they are, banks. Banks have to make money. This is just a part of the game. I'm not saying that they're bad, but this is for people who don't know what banks are for. And for the people that do know, that don't pay attention to the fine print, All right? We're going to talk about leverage. We're going to talk about compounding. We're going to talk about the interest and all of that. Interest is what keeps half the country in debt. You got some people that have techniques that use their debt to their advantage. Why even? Well, you could just avoid that shit, the whole shit together, by living within the means of what your numbers are producing. It's just like the stock market. You only invest in the company, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, due to its performance. So if you got one job and you make a certain amount, all right, then you have to make sure that you stay within under a certain percentage of that amount in which you bring in, so that way your performance of living won't be compromised. So if you make $80,000 a year, live off of 35. Live off of 35, invest 20. You understand what I'm saying? Live off of 35, invest 20, you know what I'm saying? And put the other 20 into a fucking, you know what I mean, into some insurance policies or something.